All right, freshmen, it is now time to start doing some research for this research essay. So hopefully you've picked a topic and you've gotten your topic approved by me. Now we got to start talking about research. And I just wanted to make this video to remind you about where to go to get your research, because we need to be looking for credible, legitimate sources. So obviously the first place we want to go is to go get some databases. And remember that we get our databases through the Jeffco Public Library. And when you get, this is the page that you see, you're going to click on Online Library, and then you're going to click Teens. Online Library, then Teens. And this is going to bring up the databases that I think are probably going to be the most useful. Now, it depends on what your topic is, what databases are going to be most helpful for you. I like all the databases that have the phrase in context after them. They're all Gale databases and they're all really good. So if you had some sort of some sort of topic that had to do with a person, biography in context would really work. If you have something that's with current events, you could go to global issues in context. Opposing viewpoints in context is good too. And I don't like it as much, but Point of View Research Reference Center, I have found a couple good things. You might have a health topic. And so you would go to health, and I probably would try all of these, right? So like teen health and wellness, probably good. Gale Virtual Reference Library, probably a good one. I haven't really gone into these. I would think that these two down here would probably be better. Maybe you have a history topic. So you would go to history. And US history in context, world history in context. Those would be the two best for that. Maybe you have a science topic. Like my topic is going to be, should we colonize Mars, right? Should humans go and colonize Mars? So I probably would want to go to science in context because that's a science topic. And then maybe you have a social studies topic, right? So once again, it has global issues in context. So I'm just going to show you, let's just pretend that I'm going to do some research. So I'm going to click on science in context. You have to sign in with your library card. And if you don't have a library card at this point, you're going to have to get one digitally through the Jeffco Public Library. You can request a number which will allow you to do the databases. You don't have to go to the library anymore. And if you really can't get a library card, let me know and we'll see what we can do. But let's say I'm doing colonizing Mars. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to type in colonizing Mars. And I'm going to see what happens. So it's probably going to bring up some stuff that you don't want. But we have a whole bunch of different things. And so spacecraft man, maybe not. There's some audio things. Buzz Aldrin wants people living on Mars in 24 years, maybe. Then like this is all about Elon Musk stuff, but it does say there's 63. So let's click on news and let's look at the other. Oh, look at this. Why colonizing Mars is a very, very difficult prospect. This is from the Washington Post, and it says it has the full article. Sometimes you'll see that it doesn't. See, it say brief article, or it'll say an abstract, and you don't want to click on those. You want to click on full article. So I'm going to go ahead and click why colonizing Mars is a very, very difficult prospect. So then I start looking through, oh, this looks like a pretty good article. And what I can do then is I can download it right here, and then I can upload it into Kami and annotate it to turn in on Schoology. I can also download it here. I can put it into my Google Drive, looks like. I can email it to myself. And then when I'm quoting this, when I'm citing this, I can go down to the bottom and then just select this and copy and paste it into my Works Cited page. And then my in-text citation would be Achenbach, just the guy's last name, in parentheses. So that looks like a pretty good article, but let's go back and let's look for some more. So maybe in magazines. So this one says, why go to Mars? But you see it says it's a brief article, so I probably don't want that. But let's look at this one. Buzz Aldrin has a modest proposal, scrap plans for the second lunar space race and go to Mars. So he wants us to go to Mars. That looks pretty good. Looks like an awesome article. It has a diagram and everything. So this one came from Popular Mechanics, and it's by Buzz Aldrin and David Nolan. So I could download this once again, or I could send it to myself. And then when I'm all done, I could put this, select it, copy it, put it in my Works Cited page, and my in-text citation would be Aldrin and Nolan in parentheses. So I found 2 really good articles on here, and I could go and look in the other databases and the same sort of thing. The other place you can do your research is in newspapers. Now, you're getting some newspapers in here in the databases, but you can also go and directly search for databases on Google, or databases, newspapers. So let's go search for New York Times, because I like that newspaper. And let's go ahead and let's search for colonizing Mars. So this is a letter to the editor. I probably don't want that. If Mars is colonized, we may not need to ship the bricks. Maybe. How about this one? Opinion. Let's not move to Mars. That one looks good. So I'm going to click on that. And this looks like a pretty good article. Yeah. So let's say that I want to use this. I can then copy and paste this into a Google Doc and then submit it to Schoology. And when I want to cite it, I'm just going to come and click here and copy that and go put it in my EasyBib little sidebar in Google Docs, and then it'll bring up the citation, and it's probably going to be Regis because it's the author's last name, Regis in parentheses. So I've already found 3 articles, and it was like, what, 5 minutes, 10 minutes? So now I can go and start annotating. And I found 2 really good ones from the databases, and I found one on a newspaper. So now you just need to remember that we need credible sources. We need legitimate, credible sources for this paper. And we can't have things like blogs or discussion boards. Like we need to have really credible resources. And those things could be from the databases, right? I'm going to force you to do one from the database, and then everything else is fair game. It could be newspaper articles, and any newspaper works. So you could have New York Times, you could have the Washington Post, you could have the Seattle Times, you could have Denver Post, you could have any of them, right? Any newspaper will work because they are researched and credible. Documentaries would work if you have a documentary. So I could try and see if maybe there's a documentary on YouTube or on Netflix or something about colonizing Mars. You have to remember, though, that research means reading. And I understand that research is not everyone's favorite thing. It's not necessarily my favorite thing to do. Like, you have to find all these sources, and then you have to sit down and read them and annotate them to find your information that you're going to use in your paper. That's not an easy process. And sometimes you go down paths that don't give you anything. So you have to try a lot of different search terms. I was really lucky that my first search term popped up stuff that worked. But I didn't type in, should we colonize Mars, right? That's too much. I just did colonizing Mars. I might also just type Mars and see what comes up. I might type up colonizing and see what pops up. You don't want to use these whole sentences in your question. You don't want to just put in, should we colonize Mars as the question and then see what pops up, right? That's probably not going to give you very good stuff. So you're going to have to be patient with this process and really try to find your resources, and it might take a couple tries. If you need any help, let me know, and we'll see what we can do. But do your best, find really good, legitimate resources, annotate them, and then turn them in Schoology. And good luck. Have fun. We'll see you. Bye.